Hello everyone. This story is about, what if Naruto and Hinata started living together after she was kicked out of the Hyuga clan? Becoming fast friends, Naruto and Hinata grow close to each other. After a few days of Hinata being absent from the academy, Naruto finds her in tears with only a backpack next to her. Please like, share and subscribe. Now let's start. Jiraiya leaned back in his booth and mulled over the conversations he had had since arriving in Konoha. He was very happy to discover that Naruto was doing well. Jiraiya had inspected Naruto's apartment complex before attending the first round of the Chunin exam finals. On the one hand, the Toad Sage was pleased that the stipend he provided for the brat was being used well. If Jiraiya had returned and found his godson living in a slum, the last act of Sannin probably would have gone on a rampage. I just wish I had checked inside the brat's apartment. To think, he's already got a girl living with him. I can't wait for Naruto to be ready for a real apprenticeship. I'd take him now, but Sensei said Naruto's unusually protective of the girl. It'd be a challenge to convince him to come with me. Besides, I don't want him to get a big head, Jiraiya thought as he downed a sake cup. The Toad Sage's thoughts then turned to Naruto's roommate. He had stopped by the Hyuga compound as a courtesy to one of Konoha's most prestigious clans. The Hyuga, as expected, were lavish hosts. They showered him with attention and graciously provided a cadet member to see to his every need while he was in the compound. The girl had been attractive in the typical graceful style of the Hyuga, but the true reason for her presence was a bit grating on Jiraiya. She had been nothing but a wedge to keep Jiraiya from having an in-depth conversation with Hayashi. That had actually explained a great deal about the Hyuga situation. Hayashi's position was balancing on a razor's edge. That observation had led Jiraiya to doubt whether Hinata's exile had been Hayashi's choice. I'll have to figure out a way to contact Hayashi privately, Jiraiya decided. Jiraiya's thoughts returned to Naruto, as they often did. I really wish the boy was ready. Iruka says Naruto is probably going to graduate early. I think that'll be good for the brat. Naruto's clearly not a genius and has gotten this far on pure guts. I think a couple of years, a couple of years, and he'll be ready for a full apprenticeship. The veteran ninja downed another cup of sake before pulling out some paper. Now, should I ensure the continued comfort and development of my godson as both a person and shinobi? Or turn his current situation into the basis of the next Ika book and get those damn publishers off my back? After a few moments of thought, Jiraiya's eyes lit up. Both. Huh. Orochimaru and Tsunade weren't the only geniuses on Team Hiruzen. Naruto flopped down with an enormous grin plastered on his face. He had created a new record of 5 perfect clones. Naruto had pointedly ignored the fact that the number of undercharged clones numbered close to 24. It was still an improvement. Hinata shared the smile as she looked up from her notes. She had been focusing on her academics while she rested. Hinata knew she would never match Naruto's chakra capacity. However, she was proud of her exceptional chakra control. The short time she had lived with Naruto had taught Hinata that it was all right to be proud of her own abilities. You did wonderful, Naruto-kun, Hinata praised her roommate and best friend. I don't think I would have ever thought to try creating a mob of clones. Who knows how long it would have taken me to pass the graduation exam without you? Naruto beamed. Naruto-kun, you would have passed on your own. I know you can accomplish anything you put your mind to, Hinata assured Naruto. Thanks, Naruto laid flat on the grass and watched the clouds. You know, I can see why Shikamaru does this so often. Does what? Hinata asked as she put away her notebook. Cloud watching. I never expected it to be so relaxing, Naruto confessed. Hinata shrugged her shoulders and laid down next to Naruto. A quiet moment passed before Hinata giggled. We're not going to start calling everything troublesome, are we? Naruto sighed theatrically. It'd be too troublesome to start calling everything troublesome, Naruto exaggerated the habits of his friend. Naruto frowned a bit. He hadn't really had time to hang out with Kiba, Shikamaru, and Chuji in a while. Naruto had been focusing all his attention on helping Hinata through her situation. Maybe with things getting back to normal, I can have a day where I hang out with the guys. I know Hinata-chan had fun with Ino and Sakura. I should really try to hang out with my other friends, Naruto thought. Nay, Hinata-chan, I'm going to apologize in advance, Naruto said softly. F for what, Naruto-kun? Skipping class tomorrow, Naruto admitted. Hinata shot straight up. Skip? You haven't skipped class since, well, it's been a while, Hinata scolded Naruto while simultaneously trying to avoid the subject of her banishment. I know, it's just I haven't hung out with Shikamaru, Kiba, and Shiji in a while. This'll probably be my last chance for a while. I know none of them are going to graduate early like we are. I just want to hang out with the guys one last time, Naruto explained. Oh, well, I still don't think you should skip class, Hinata pouted. I know, this'll be the last time. But, you had the sleepover and I'd like to be with my other friends too, Naruto countered. Okay, I understand. I'll make sure you get the notes. You helped me with keeping up so many times, it's the least I can do, Hinata gave in. I'll also preemptively make it up to you, I'll bring in food from where you want to eat, Naruto said excitedly. You never did tell me where you got the zensai from that day. Whoops, Naruto chuckled. Well, I'll definitely bring in food from Hakamono. Let's do that tonight, Hinata said as she rolled over on her side. We're done here, so let's head back home. I'll pick up a few things from the market and you can pick up dinner. Sounds like a plan to me, Naruto scrambled to his feet. He helped Hinata to her feet. The two shared a soft smile before walking back to their shared apartment. Naruto counted out enough money for their dinner. He started to leave but noticed that Hinata was lingering near the bathroom. Something wrong, Hinata-chan? And no, I'm just taking my time, Hinata assured Naruto. Naruto smiled and nodded. As soon as Naruto closed the door, Hinata turned back to the mirror. She brushed her bangs away from her forehead and stared at her seal. Happy birthday, mother. Naruto smiled weakly at Hinata's disapproving look as he slipped away. He clambered over the fence and broke into a sprint. Hey guys! Wait up, Naruto shouted. Kiba was the first to notice Naruto. Well, look who decided to grace us with his presence, Kiba smirked. Hey, it's not every day you get to hang out with the next Hokage. You should be excited, Naruto shot back with his own smirk. It's been a while, Naruto, Chuji said as he fished a bag of chips out of one of his coat pockets. Yeah, I've just been busy. You know, training with Hinata-chan and stuff. And stuff? Kiba asked with an odd look on his face. Troublesome stuff. Best not to talk about it, Shikamaru said as he eased into his usual spot on the grass. Kiba and Chuji exchanged a look and shrugged. Akamaru barked and Kiba pulled a ball out of his pocket. So, you're really graduating early? Kiba asked Naruto as he threw the ball. Akamaru barked happily and chased after it. Yep. I can even make a couple of actual bunshins now. Naruto shouted excitedly. I don't believe it, Chuji said in awe. Shikamaru didn't say anything but actually opened his eyes. He was wearing a look of complete disbelief. I'm with Chuji. I call bullshit, Kiba scoffed and said the last bit a little loudly. The boys had always been a bit freer with adult language when they skipped. Better get ready to give me the hat. Naruto boasted as he flew through the hand seals. Bunshin no jutsu. Wow, he actually did it, Chuji breathed. Naruto grinned as he took in the looks of shock on his friends' faces. Shikamaru even sat up. Kiba, Naruto, and Chuji had often joked that it would take a small explosion to get their lazy friend to stop his cloud watching. Well, me making a couple of clones certainly will shake things up. Naruto thought happily. He focused solely on the 5 perfect clones and ignored the gaggle of over and undercharged clones. So, how long did it take Hinata to figure out to have you make a bunch of clones and hope for the best? Shikamaru asked. Hinata-chan figured it out pretty much the same day we started training together, Naruto revealed. Hey, guys, why aren't you all graduating early? I mean, you could all pass right now. Things are different in clans, Naruto, Chuji said as he finished off his bag of chips. I don't know about Shikamaru or Kiba, but I have to master a couple of my clan's techniques before I can graduate. Kiba nodded. Chuji's right. I'm still working on the Jujin Bunshin and Getsuga with Akamaru. Mom says I have to at least master those before I graduate. I've nearly got it, but not quite. My clan's the same way, I've got to get the Baika no Jutsu down first, Chuji added. What about you, Shikamaru? What super cool clan jutsu are you learning? Naruto asked excitedly. I've already got the cage main down, I just find it too troublesome to graduate early, Shikamaru said as he laid back down. Oh, Naruto said a bit lamely. The conversation eventually turned to lighter fare. Shikamaru and Chuji laughed long and hard at Naruto's attempt to get Kiba to deliver on the terms of their bet. I'm not just going to take your word for it. And before you say anything, I'm not going to take Hinata's word for it either. You two are in cahoots. Kiba protested. See a what? Naruto asked. Cahoots. Kiba repeated. But what does that even mean? Naruto asked. I don't know, but Mom uses it whenever Akamaru and I get into trouble and one of us tries to pin the blame on the other, Kiba explained. The other boys shrugged off the explanation and jumped over the academy fence to meet up with the rest of the class. The boys nearly landed on Sakura as she exited the building. Kaya! Sakura cried out in alarm and took a swing at the closest figure, which happened to be Kiba. Kiba managed to substitute with a nearby chair and avoided the hit. The chair, however, shattered under the hit. Nice punch, Naruto said in admiration. Sakura blinked twice and blushed a bit at the looks of shock on each boy's face. Thanks, Sakura said nervously. Hey, Sakura, I need your help, Naruto continued after waving off Sakura's nervousness. Sure, what is it, Naruto? The girl asked as she knelt down to pick up the book she had dropped. Can you tell Kiba that you, Hinata-chan and Ino, did have ice cream at your sleepover? Naruto pressed his hands together and practically begged Sakura to agree with him. Sakura smiled as she scratched Akamaru behind the ears. Of course we had ice cream. Though, I had cream and mitsu, but that did have ice cream in it. Kiba groaned and shook his head. He was annoyed that Sakura had forced him to pay Naruto 20 ryo, but Akamaru was relaxed around her so she couldn't be all bad. There, Naruto, you happy? Kiba lamented the loss of his hard-earned money. You bet. Well, I'm going to catch up to Hinata-chan. See you guys around. Naruto waved as he ran off. He caught up with the main bunch of the class fairly quickly. Naruto moved among the cliques, families, and various other groups quickly silently. Hinata-chan probably went straight home, Naruto realized. He also realized Hinata was doing this to show how much she disapproved of him skipping. Naruto shrugged it off and continued back to the apartment. The boy decided to cut through the park to get home faster. He saw some of the parents lead their children away from his chosen path. Naruto hadn't paid as much attention to the villagers recently. Hinata-chan, Iruka-sensei, or Ayamwani-chan had been with him so much that he could draw strength from his friend's acceptance. However, they weren't here. Naruto was alone to face the cold, empty gazes or the sneers of disapproval. The looks cut him deeply. He wanted nothing more than to get home. Naruto wouldn't even get annoyed at whatever Hinata planned to say about him skipping class. He knew that Hinata just wanted him to succeed. Her concern helped him keep moving towards his dream. Naruto caught the sound of metal striking wood in the distance. He paused and listened closely. Someone is training with kunai, Naruto observed. He approached the source of the sound from an opening in the tree line. The last thing Naruto needed was to be drilled in the face by a kunai. It was Sasuke. Naruto relaxed just a bit but felt an odd energy build inside of him. It took a second for Naruto to realize it was the desire to compete with Sasuke. Yo, Sasuke, Naruto greeted the last Uchiha. Sasuke paused and gave Naruto a barely visible nod. It wasn't a real greeting. Naruto knew that Sasuke had just acknowledged his presence. Sasuke put his kunai away and simply stared at Naruto for a second. What are you doing here? Sasuke eventually asked. Dunno really. I heard you practicing and got curious, I guess, Naruto confessed. Sasuke didn't say anything and resumed his training. Hey Sasuke, you still graduating early? Of course I am. When I graduate, I'll be another step closer to fulfilling my ambitions, Sasuke said proudly, both at his statement and at his accuracy. He finished his practice and was satisfied with his own progress. Me too. I mean, I can't become Hokage if I'm stuck in the academy forever, Naruto smiled broadly at the attempt for conversation. You know, I never would have thought of graduating early if it wasn't for you or the Hyuga girl, Sasuke admitted. Don't lump Hinata-chan in with those jerks, Naruto said heatedly, but calmed down quickly. But I guess I am influential. Sasuke rolled his eyes. Influential. Sasuke walked over to the target and began retrieving his practice kunai. You seem certain that you and Hinata will pass. If you can pass, then I can. I've mastered Katan, Gokakyu no Jutsu. I have solid marks, and Mizuki-sensei regularly says my taijutsu is above and beyond most academy students. You are pretty good. I haven't nailed down any jutsu that isn't one of the academy ones, but I've got one I'm working on, Naruto admitted. He kept pushing. He had to get more acknowledgement out of Sasuke. Naruto had no idea where this desire was coming from, but Naruto had always considered Sasuke somewhat of a kindred spirit. So you aren't completely hopeless, Sasuke said with a ghost of a smile. Naruto caught the fleeting smile and returned it 100-fold. When is anything ever hopeless? Naruto questioned. Well, I'm off. I need to see what Hinata-chan wants to give for dinner with the 20 Ryo we won off Kiba. Sasuke watched Naruto run off and bitterly pondered his classmate's words. Naruto can't understand. What has he lost? If he had experienced Itachi's cruelty like I did, he would realize that there are moments where there is no hope. If he knew that, he would understand why the pursuit of power is so important. I will never feel like that again. Naruto unlocked the door to the apartment and strolled casually into the home he shared with Hinata. He smiled as he thought about how it actually felt like a home now. His smile grew softer and more genuine once he saw Hinata reading a training scroll on the couch. I'm back, Hinata-chan, Naruto said with cautious optimism. Welcome home, Naruto-kun, Hinata said with a smile. Naruto let out a sigh of relief. Sorry that it took me so long to get home. I had to get Sakura's help to get Kiba to pay up on that bet. I would have come straight home to get your help, but Kiba wouldn't have believed you, 'cause we're in cahoots, Naruto explained. Oh, was all Hinata managed to say. She felt a pit in her stomach when she thought about how much time Naruto might have spent with Sakura. It was an irrational fear, she realized, but she experienced it nonetheless. Yeah, after that I ran into Sasuke and talked to him at one of the training grounds, Naruto explained. The two of us talked about graduating early for a bit. Which took longer? Hinata asked without really thinking. Talking with Sasuke, easy, I had to practically poke him to keep him from spacing out, Naruto said with a mix of amusement and annoyance. He had completely missed Hinata's tone and intent. Did you know that he said we inspired him to graduate early? Hinata relaxed a bit. She wasn't sure what caused her jealously to flare like that. Hinata breathed a sigh of relief as she felt that emotion leave her. I guess that makes us influential. Heck yeah, we are. So, ready to go to Hakamono? Kiba's treat. Naruto beamed. Kiba? Yeah, this, Naruto grinned and produced the 20 Ryo that Kiba had given him, was totally Kiba's earlier today. That's enough for a big meal, Hinata said excitedly. I know, right? We can eat till we're full and not have to worry about cutting into our rent money. Naruto matched Hinata's enthusiasm. Hinata jumped off the couch and joined Naruto by the door. I can't wait until we start doing missions. It'll be nice to not worry as much about paying the rent, for groceries, and stuff. It will be nice not to have our budget be so tight. Do you know if you'll still get your stipend? Hinata asked. Dunno, I think Iruka-sensei said something about getting it until I was 16, Naruto said with a shrug. We should find out. It'd be nice if you keep getting it. We could put that in a savings account, Hinata thought out loud as Naruto opened the door. And that's why you're in charge or our money, Naruto nodded emphatically. Hinata giggled at Naruto's matter-of-fact statement. You did a very good job managing your money before I moved in with you, Hinata assured Naruto. Thanks, Hinata-chan, Naruto replied gratefully. The two children made their way through the streets of Konoha and eventually reached the small restaurant. Hinata and Naruto ordered a meal and decided to take their meal outside. Hinata smiled as they reached the spot she had hidden in the day she had skipped with Naruto. Hey, Hinata-chan, remember how we talked about our hobbies last time? Naruto questioned through a mouthful of rice. I don't think I could ever forget that day, Hinata gently breathed her answer. Me neither, the boy agreed completely. I was thinking about how we both said we liked to garden. I wish we had a garden, the girl sighed. Naruto found himself entranced as Hinata traced an ivy vine with her finger. It was in that moment that Naruto began to realize why Iruka-sensei and Ayamone-chan made such a big deal about Hinata being a girl. As Naruto listened to Hinata talk about how she thought they could get a flower pot or two for the apartment, he found the entire world felt lighter. Maybe we can get flowers after we complete a few missions? Naruto idly suggested. His mouth felt dry despite taking a sip of his water. There was a knot in his stomach, but it was far from uncomfortable. Hinata nodded and Naruto caught a glimpse of her seal. He hated seeing that thing on Hinata. Naruto thought it was wrong to seal anyone like that, but to do such a thing to Hinata was inhuman. Something so cruel had no place on Hinata. He blinked twice and quickly ate in an attempt to get his head on straight. Naruto's first instinct was to run and find Iruka-sensei. Yeah, right. How would I explain that to Hinata-chan? Oh, don't worry Hinata-chan, I just bolted because I was confused by how I started feeling about you. That would be wonderful. I'd like that, Hinata said with a sad smile. There was only one thing she missed more than the gardens in the Hyuga compound, and that was her sister. Hanabi, I hope you are okay. Hinata looked up and saw that she was the center of Naruto's world. She was struck by the thought of Naruto's face as a canvas, a painting. Instead of using colors and paint, it was as if an artist had used emotion and the way light danced in his eyes to tell the story. This was a completely new experience for Hinata. She was pinned in place by Naruto's gaze and the emotion washing over her. Hinata looked to the heavens and noticed the sun was setting. It took a moment for Naruto and Hinata to realize that they had finished eating. They had been so absorbed in their unspoken connection that even the Zensai's familiar and welcome taste had failed to register. I can't believe we stayed out so late, Hinata let a hint of embarrassment slip into her voice. I can, Naruto responded instantly. We're together and in our spot. Oh, our spot? Why yeah, Naruto suddenly felt very nervous. Why was it becoming so hard to say what he meant? I just think this place will always be ours and ours alone, you know? I mean, to anyone else, it's just a couple of bushes and trees. To us, well, it's where everything we have started. Everything we have? Hinata felt a hitch in her throat. Why yeah, Naruto managed to speak after a quiet moment. There was so much he felt the need to say, but he couldn't find the words that do the feelings justice. So, he settled for a smile. His heart leapt when Hinata returned the smile. Maybe, Naruto thought, he didn't need to say anything. The remaining 4 days before the graduation exam passed quickly. They had passed the time with last-minute training. Naruto had actually focused on academics. He had made too much progress with his ninjutsu and taijutsu to fail because of the written exam. Hinata had devoted her attention to her shuriken and kunai. The Hyuga had always focused nearly exclusively on taijutsu. Gentle fist style was the most formidable fighting style in the world. Hinata remembered her former clan's tutors proudly stating that sometimes the mere rumor of facing a Hyuga could win battles. Only the strongest foreign ninja would stand against a Hyuga. Strongest, Hinata examined the word. She wanted to be strong. She wanted to be respected. She also knew that Naruto wanted the same thing. The desire to be accepted and respected was one of the many things that drew the two fundamentally lonely children to each other. However, it was the respect that Naruto and Hinata had for each other that kept them together. Naruto had accepted Hinata, even though she was banished and flawed. He thought she was incredible and was not shy in telling Hinata his opinion. Hinata, for her part, greatly admired Naruto's unconquerable determination and good humor. She, however, recognized and accepted Naruto's stubbornness and impulsive nature. Hinata took a deep breath as she refocused. Today was the day. Hinata-chan, I wouldn't be this ready without you, Naruto breathed hastily. I don't want to think where I would be without you, Hinata confessed. Naruto suddenly took her hand as they reached the academy. Hinata felt her knees become weak for an entirely different reason than her nervousness about the upcoming test. Regardless what happens, we'll always have each other, Naruto swore. He closed his eyes and knew that those words were among the truest he had ever spoken. Naruto and Hinata pushed open the doors and prepared to enter a new and exciting world. Iruka took a deep breath as he entered the academy's main foyer. He was glad Sasuke, Naruto, and Hinata had listened to his request to arrive early. Iruka would have felt terrible if he had been unable to give his students a bit of last-minute advice. I'm very proud of all of you. Today is your first step into a new world. It is my sincere hope that I have provided you with a solid foundation for your futures. It has been my pleasure and honor to be your teacher. I have faith in all of you and wish you all the success in the world, Iruka finished with a smile. You spent all morning practicing that, didn't you, Iruka-sensei? Naruto asked cheekily. Iruka flushed and muttered something about gray hairs under his breath. I did. It is tradition for academy teachers to say something before their students attempt to graduate, Iruka answered in an encouraging tone after regaining his composure. It was a nice speech, Naruto chuckled. Thank you, but I'm sorry. I won't be proctoring this exam. Suzume-sensei and Tomatsu-sensei will be giving the exams, Iruka apologized. It is alright, Iruka-sensei. We are glad you took the time to wish us luck, Hinata bowed as she finished. Get going you three. I don't know what I'd do with myself if I caused you all to be late, Iruka motioned with his head to the door labeled graduation exams. Hinata bowed again before heading to the door. Naruto waved to his favorite teacher and shouted, next time you see me, I'll be a ninja Tabeo, as he caught up to Hinata. The Databeo generated 3 different reactions. Sasuke rolled his eyes. Iruka sighed, but acknowledged that Naruto wouldn't be Naruto without his distinctive verbal tick. That was so adorable, Hinata thought with a smile. Sasuke walked past the pair and pushed the door open dramatically. The room was already crowded. There were numerous cliques standing together, chatting nervously. Occasionally, a person would point out the new arrivals. The other members of the cliques would scoff and write Hinata, Naruto, and Sasuke off as show-offs or overachievers. Sasuke ignored the whispers and found a quiet corner of the room. Naruto felt, rather than saw, Hinata tense up beside him. Something wrong, Hinata-chan? Naruto asked and the concern was evident in his voice. And Niji-san, Hinata managed to force out. Naruto furrowed his brow as he searched the crowd for the source of Hinata's distress. He found Niji leaning against the wall away from the crowds. I didn't know you had a brother, Naruto whispered, but it bordered on a hiss. If their roles had been reversed, and Naruto had seen his sister again after what had happened to Hinata, he would have bowled over half the people in the room to make sure she was okay. He isn't my brother, not really. My father and Niji-san's father were twins. I call Niji brother because I wanted him to realize he wasn't alone, Hinata explained. Alone? Naruto started to ask for an explanation, but Niji finally noticed the pair. He didn't move from his spot, but leveled a withering glare at Hinata. Naruto returned the glare. He wanted nothing more than to walk up and punch Niji in the face. Naruto hadn't seen Hinata this scared since that first night after Naruto had found her wandering Konoha after her banishment. Naruto knew how scared of this Niji Hinata was because she was hiding behind him and held the back of his jacket in a death grip. It was almost as if she wanted to disappear. I'll explain when we go home, Hinata whimpered. Naruto felt anger coiling in the pit of his stomach and he really wanted to remove the source of Hinata's fear and pain. Okay, we'll get lunch to celebrate passing, Naruto said gently to assure Hinata. Hinata nodded in relief as Naruto led them away from Niji's line of sight. The two found a quiet spot and sat down. Hinata managed to calm down quickly after moving away from Niji. I'm sorry, Naruto-kun. Niji and I-san always frightened me. He was always so harsh and bitter towards me, Hinata explained. Naruto patted her hand. Don't worry about it, Hinata-chan. You've got nothing to be sorry about. If anything, this Niji guy needs to apologize for being such a jerk. Hinata nodded in an attempt to placate Naruto. She had never liked being the center of attention, and the incident with Niji had drawn the attention of several people. After a few moments, the attention waned and Hinata became far more comfortable. Mind if I sit here? Naruto and Hinata looked up at the girl who asked the question. The girl was one of the older students. Hinata and Naruto noticed that she was wearing a pink blouse and green pants. Sure, Naruto said with a shrug. The girl smiled and sat down. I'm 1010, by the way, the girl said cheerfully. Pleased to meet you. I am Hinata, Hinata introduced herself. Naruto smiled broadly. He was more convinced than ever that Hinata was the most polite person in the world. Uzumaki Naruto. I didn't know anyone was going to try to graduate early, 1010 said in a conversational tone. We are ready. And, we need to graduate. We can't fulfill our dreams in the academy. 1010 and Naruto were both shocked by Hinata's words. Naruto was proud that Hinata had recovered so quickly. On the other hand, 1010 hadn't expected the girl to speak with such confidence. The first image 1010 had of Hinata was the younger girl recovering from a panic attack. 1010 recognized the symptoms from the time she had spent studying medicinal ninjutsu and all aspects of human health. 1010 swallowed back a sigh as she recalled her failed attempts to master medical ninjutsu. She had realized that her chakra control would never be precise enough for medical ninjutsu. However, she had discovered that she had a different kind of precision. 1010 was good with throwing weapons. She loved weapons. The day she discovered Fuinjutsu was almost like the day she was born again. 1010 no longer wanted to be the next Tsunade. Instead, she wanted to become a legend like Tsunade by following her own path. As she observed Uzumaki Naruto and Hinata, 1010 couldn't help but feel that the two younger kids had a similar dream. You two certainly are interesting, 1010 admitted with a smile. Tomatsu-sensei and Suzume-sensei entered the room before Hinata or Naruto could respond. Tomatsu-sensei, whose name caused Naruto to snicker, launched into a longer version of Iruka-sensei's prepared speech. Suzume-sensei added a few remarks, thanking all the students for their efforts and loyalty to Konoha. The two teachers exchanged a quick nod. Suzume adjusted her glasses with her right thumb. All aspirants will form two lines in front of either myself or Tomatsu-sensei, Suzume ordered. Naruto leaned in close to Hinata. Totally lining up in front of Tomato-sensei. Tomato-sensei? Hinata whispered back. Oh come on, please tell me I wasn't the only one to think of that? Hinata shook her head and tried desperately not to laugh at her best friend's antics. Hinata decided to line up in Suzume-sensei's line a few people back from Naruto. She felt a bit mischievous and wanted to see how Tomatsu-sensei would react. Hinata was so caught up in Naruto's planned mischief that she didn't realize who was behind her. So, Hinata, how should I address you? Niji asked and, for once, made no effort to hide his derision or mocking tone. I am just Hinata, Hinata answered shakily. The young woman was struggling to control her fear. Niji smirked in amusement, despite knowing how petty this conversation ultimately was. Ah, it seems the honored main branch stripped you of your name when they discarded you. Tell me Hinata, how does it feel to be so alone? I am not alone, Hinata said quietly. She swallowed back her rising nerves and looked up at the taller boy. Hinata silently cursed her trembling. The young woman was terrified, truly terrified, but she refused to run away. She longed to run away to the comfort and safety of the apartment she shared with Naruto. Hinata felt safe there. She felt welcome there. No, I can't do that. If I can't face Niji and Ai-san, how can I face an enemy ninja? If I run away, how could I face my friends? How could I face Naruto-kun? How could I face myself in the mirror? Hinata struggled against her fear. You discovered a group of fellow failures to congregate with, Niji declared. Images of Sakura, Ino, Ayam, Tuchi, and Irika flashed to the forefront of Hinata's memory. Hinata's other friends faded away, and Naruto's smiling face dominated her thoughts. My friends are not failures, Hinata said firmly. She was shocked by her own bravery. There was a flash of something in Niji's eyes that betrayed how much Hinata's sudden bravery had shocked him as well. I will indulge your illusions for a moment, and ask this question. If they aren't failures, then won't you, the former Hyuga failure, only drag them down? Niji continued his verbal assault. Fate. Hinata mentally inspected the word as she spoke it. Niji, the Hyuga prodigy despite being born into the branch house, nodded and smiled at Hinata's use of the word. Maybe I was fated to be a Hyuga failure, but I believe fate has given me the chance to find my own success outside of the clan. I believe I can truly achieve my dreams for the first time in my life. Niji scoffed at Hinata's declaration. You may have discovered a sliver of comfort or false confidence, but fate has decreed your lot in life. Your brave words cannot change who you are. No, Niji and I-san, they can't change me. I am the only one who can change me, Hinata said with a contented smile. She had pushed past her fear into a new and liberating world. You can also change yourself. Niji and I-san, you don't have to be alone anymore. This belief in fate doesn't have to rule you. Niji's Byakugan activated of its own volition, and the prodigy trembled with rage. You. Niji spat venomously and reared back for a Juken strike. Hinata's bravery wavered, and she prepared to dodge Niji's attack or at least minimize the damage. The strike never came, however. Suzume-sensei had grabbed Niji's wrist and gave the academy student an angry glare. I do not know, nor care, what personal issues exist between the two of you. However, I will not allow the two of you to disrupt this examination. Miss Hinata, draw a number and return to a seat. One that is nowhere near your fellow Hyuga. She is not Hyuga, Niji growled as Suzume let go. Hinata was breathing heavily from a combination of adrenaline and emotional turmoil. She quickly drew a number and retreated to where Naruto was sitting. She never spared Niji another look. Naruto stood up and put a comforting hand on Hinata's shoulder the second she reached him. Are you okay, Hinata-chan? Hinata barely nodded. I will be. I've never stood up to Niji and I-san before. I can't believe I did that. I can. Hinata smiled in thanks and the two sat down. The two teachers gave a quick speech calling on the prospective shinobi to uphold the honor of Konoha through their actions. Suzume-sensei reminded the class, primarily Hinata and Niji truthfully, that they were expected to behave professionally at all times. Naruto grumbled at the thinly veiled admonishment. Tomatsu-sensei announced that the examination would begin. Student number 1. The older Chinin cried out. A boy from the back got up nervously and followed the two proctors into the next room. The second the door shut, nervous whispers erupted throughout the room. So, which number did you get? Naruto asked as if they were waiting for their order at a cafe. Hinata chuckled when Naruto put both hands behind his head. He truly had a gift for putting her at ease. Number 13. What number did you get, Naruto-kun? 6, but I'm kinda bummed about it, Naruto confessed. Why would you be bummed about it? Hinata asked in naked disbelief. Naruto grinned broadly. I wanted us to both get really low numbers back to back. That was a reason Hinata expected from Naruto. The class's whispers fell silent as the door to the classroom reopened. Tomatsu-sensei and Suzume-sensei strode into the room. There was a collective intake of breath as the class waited for the first student to come back. The two teachers hadn't betrayed a single hint of failure of success. A heartbeat, one that felt like a full minute, passed and the boy entered the room proudly wearing his Hataite and a grin that rivaled Naruto at his most exuberant. Congratulations! Naruto shouted and started to clap. The rest of the class, minus Sasuke and Niji, joined the raucous celebration. The young genin blushed and waved nervously at the excited classroom. Kijimuta Tomatsu idly called for the next graduate, but his mind was focused on the change in the energy of the classroom. There had been an undeniable nervous edge in the prospective genin. The Uzumaki boy's outburst had been perfectly timed with Genin Hiraki's successful return. Tomatsu knew the outburst hadn't been planned. The Uzumaki boy, Naruto the Jinchuriki Tomatsu reminded himself, had acted spontaneously. The Tokubetsu Jonin realized that the spontaneity proved Naruto was more gifted than if the boy had acted with forethought. Naruto had an instinctive grasp of the moods of others. Kishimoto continued to ponder the mystery of Uzumaki Naruto as he mechanically went through the second test. The young woman, Anara, passed easily. Tomatsu followed the Nara girl into the class and took the opportunity to observe Naruto again. Hiraki Seiji had taken the empty seat next to Naruto. That caught Tomatsu off guard. Naruto was metaphorically held at a distance by a majority of Konoha. Only a few individuals were truly close to the boy. And all of them are steadfastly loyal and friendly towards the boy, the teacher noted. Kishimoto was ashamed to admit it, but he had lobbied not to teach the boy. The responsibility for Naruto's education had fallen to Umino Irika. The young man hadn't been happy at first, but within a few months had practically adopted the boy. Perhaps Irika saw something we didn't, the Tokubetsu Jonin considered. Tomatsu turned his thoughts to the youngest academy teacher as he followed Suzume and the third applicant into the test room. Irika was universally liked by his students. However, he was one of the strictest graduation proctors the academy had ever had. But his students also have some of the highest survival rates the academy has ever had, Tomatsu acknowledged. The third student, a young man from a civilian family, finished his bunshins and was awarded his Hitai-8. Is there something on your mind, Tomatsu-san? Suzume asked. The older teacher nodded. Yes, Suzume-san. I have decided to nominate Umino Irika for Tokubetsu Jonin at the end of this term. Do you believe he's ready? Suzume removed her glasses and cleaned them off with a cloth. Absolutely, Tomatsu replied emphatically. Naruto bounced in his seat as he tried in vain to contain his built-up energy. Hinata giggled at his energy. That won't make the others finish their exams any faster, Naruto-kun, Hinata playfully chided Naruto. I know, but they're taking forever, Naruto complained. I want everyone to see how awesome we are. Thank you, Hinata said softly and couldn't contain her blush. Naruto hummed questioningly. He didn't really understand why Hinata-chan reacted that way sometimes. Naruto did recognize it only happened when he used words like us or we. He could tell she wasn't embarrassed or anything like that. The conversation he had with Ayame-chan and Irika-sensei about the time he had called Hinata-chan his warrior princess cleared up that particular confusion. Regardless, Naruto was still pretty confused by Hinata-chan's reaction. He wasn't saying anything really extraordinary, certainly nothing to cause her to act like that. Hinata-chan was his partner, and in a few days Naruto was firmly convinced she'd be his teammate too. Naruto was just stating the obvious. It didn't hurt that Hinata-chan seemed to appreciate the sentiment, so he wasn't about to stop. Naruto grinned at Hinata, but before he could say anything Tomato-sensei called the next number. It was Tenten's. Good luck. Naruto called out. Yes, good luck, Tenten-senpai. Hinata added her own encouragement. The older girl offered Hinata and Naruto a friendly two-fingered salute. Naruto's attention was quickly captured by Tomatsu-sensei nodding at him. What the heck was that all about? Tomato-sensei didn't look at me like the other teachers used to. Heck, he almost looked at me like Old Man Tuchi or Old Man Hokage does. Did Tomatsu-sensei just nod at you? Hinata whispered. Naruto wasn't surprised Hinata had noticed Tomato-sensei's gesture. She always had been the more observant of the two. I think he did. What's with that? Naruto asked. Hinata chewed her lip. Today certainly has been memorable, she thought with a bit of humor. It shocked her how Naruto-like she had become since moving in with her best friend. Or maybe I'm just being myself without all the expectations of the Hyuga, burying my true self deep inside? Any ideas, Hinata-chan? Naruto prompted. He noticed how Hinata had zoned out for a moment. Oh, sorry Naruto-kun, Hinata apologized once she realized how lost in thought she had been. I don't know. Maybe you could ask him when you take your exam? I'll do that. Naruto punched his right hand into his left palm. I wish I wasn't so close to the end, Hinata sighed. Naruto mentally debated his next course of action for a moment. He shrugged before making his decision. Don't be, you're going to knock their socks off, Naruto said resolutely as he took Hinata's hand. No one missed the blushes on the two aspiring genins' faces. Thank you, Naruto-kun, Hinata could barely breathe out the words. Hinata and Naruto sat in a companionable silence for a few minutes. The silence was broken when Hinata noticed Tenten throw the doors to the classroom open. Naruto looked up with a grin. Congratulations, Tenten-senpai, Hinata said excitedly. The older girl flashed the V for victory sign and got back in her seat. Yeah, congrats, Tenten. Naruto cheered. Suzume called for the next student. The young man gulped as he walked to the door. Naruto was bouncing on his seat. I'm next. I'm next. That still won't speed things up, Naruto-kun, Hinata said teasingly. Naruto pouted. But. Hinata started laughing at the face Naruto had made. Naruto's innocent what caused the quiet laugh to become increasingly loud. Hinata quickly put a hand in front of her mouth to stifle her laugh. It worked and she calmed down quickly. I like it when you laugh, Naruto's words were practically a smile. Sorry to interrupt, but do you two ever stop flirting? Tenten asked from across the aisle. One of the other students had taken Tenten's spot during her examination. The two in question were so stunned and confused by the question that they couldn't react in any way. Suzume-sensei's arrival saved Hinata and Naruto from any further embarrassment. The kunoichi called Naruto's number and his embarrassment was pushed aside by eager anticipation. I can't wait to see your Hitaiate, Naruto-kun, Hinata said encouragingly. Naruto flashed a thumbs up before bounding out of the room. Hinata sighed as she realized that she was still a ways away from her own test. She was about to talk with Tenten when a voice spoke from behind her. Hi. Hinata turned and noticed the voice belonged to one of the older students. He seems very nervous. This test is very important. I really can't blame him, Hinata thought distractedly. Hello, Hinata responded politely. I wonder if Naruto-kun's test has started? Naruto followed a few steps behind Suzume-sensei. The young man was still bouncing on the balls of his feet. His excitement was practically oozing from every pore. This was the first major step towards his dream of becoming Hokage. In a few minutes, Uzumaki Naruto would be a real ninja. His excitement waned for a moment when he saw number 5 sitting next to the door to Iruka-sensei's class. Naruto knew immediately what had happened. The boy hadn't passed. Naruto hadn't attempted the graduation exam before. He had been planning on taking the last offered exam, but he had shelved that idea. Hinata-chan, his best friend, had needed his help. What kind of Hokage would I be if I didn't help a friend? Naruto asked himself. Number 5 obviously needed a friend right now. Naruto knew that if he had failed the exam, he'd be really down. It would take a whole lot of ramen and encouragement from Hinata-chan, Iruka-sensei, Old Man Tochi and Ayamoni-chan to cheer him up. Hello, Naruto said as he walked over to the boy. The boy looked at Naruto with hurt eyes. What do you want? Naruto flinched a bit at the tone. He had heard some harsh tones in his short life. There were some villagers that were very harsh towards Naruto. However, this tone was different. It wasn't aimed at Naruto at all. It was aimed at the boy himself. I want to ask you a favor, Naruto answered with a reassuring smile. The brown-haired boy's hurt look was pushed aside by a confused one. I just failed the Genin exam. Why would a genius like you want a favor? I'm no genius, Naruto assured the boy. He leaned in conspiratorially. Want to hear a secret? In spite of himself, the boy leaned forward. Naruto looked over at his shoulder at Suzume-sensei and Tomato-sensei. Suzume-sensei looked really impatient. Tomato-sensei looked curious. Naruto turned his attention back to number 5. I'm awful at the bunshin. I can make 3 good clones, but you should see the number of horrible ones that come along for the ride. Thanks, the other boy said between laughs. I needed that, but it doesn't change the fact that I'm too slow with my hand seals. I mean, if I can't pull off the substitution, how will I survive on a real mission? What's your name? Huh? It's Soda Rikuto, Rikuto hesitatingly responded. Well Rikuto, I'm Uzumaki Naruto. You said your only issues were hand seals, right? Naruto asked. He had closed his eyes when he announced his name. Thus, Naruto missed the flash of recognition in Rikuto's eyes. Yeah, Rikuto answered hesitantly. Have you ever played string games? Naruto questioned the older boy. He pointedly ignored Suzume-sensei calling for him to hurry up. No, I've never done that. Rikuto responded in disbelief. How would that help me? Naruto didn't respond, but pulled a bit of string from one of his pockets. He started creating various patterns very quickly. You should have seen my screw-ups the first few times I tried this. But, I didn't give up and now I'm really good at it. Rikuto just watched Naruto weave pattern after pattern in silence. He was stunned when Naruto held the string out to him. Thank you, but what's this favor? Just never give up, Naruto said confidently. Rikuto smiled back. It still hurt that he hadn't passed, but somehow it wasn't hurting quite as bad anymore. Hey, we're both going to be Konoha shinobi one day. We've got to have each other's backs, Naruto said with a warm and inviting smile. Naruto turned to rejoin the Tomato-sensei and Suzume-sensei. Naruto. Rikuto called out. Naruto paused and turned back towards Soda. Good luck. I won't need it. I've worked too hard to need luck. Hinata was feeling awfully rude. Ogura Arata, as the boy had introduced himself, was clearly nervous and Hinata was practically ignoring him. Naruto-kun will pass no problem. I just have to have faith in him, Hinata silently reassured herself. So, what's your name? Arata asked. My name is Hinata, Hinata replied politely. Arata smiled at the response. That's a very pretty name. Thank you, Hinata blushed a bit as she instinctively and politely bowed. She may not be Hyuga anymore, but her years of etiquette training were still deeply ingrained. It was also strange hearing a compliment from someone other than Naruto-kun, Ino-chan, or Sakura-chan. What convinced a nice girl like you to take the exam early? Arata asked. Hinata cocked her head to the side. Oh, Naruto-kun and I decided that we were ready to pursue our dreams, Hinata admitted, before giggling a bit. It doesn't hurt that we need the money. Need the money? Arata managed to force out. Yes, Naruto-kun's stipend from the village barely covers our expenses. Due to my situation, I am ineligible for a stipend. Hinata's voice cracked a bit at the end. It was still painful to think about how the Hyuga abandoned her. That Naruto guy, is he your cousin or something? Arata asked. Hinata missed the almost desperate hope in the older boy's voice. Hinata took a deep breath to gather her thoughts. Naruto-kun is my best friend and roommate. Arata blinked a few times. Our roommate? Yes, I moved in with Naruto-kun a while ago. I had some family issues and Naruto-kun was kind enough to help me through a very difficult time in my life. I'm as happy as I've ever been with Naruto-kun. Hinata was so caught up in her explanation that she didn't notice Arata emotionally deflate. She also didn't hear Tenten's amused laughter. Arata excused himself and walked off. Hinata turned her attention to the door and barely registered a boy with large eyebrows and a short ponytail take Arata's seat. Welcome to the graduation exam, Uzumaki-san, Suzume-sensei greeted formally. Thanks, Suzume-sensei. I'm really excited about being here, Databeo. Naruto practically shouted. Tomatsu-sensei smiled at the boy. Yes, Iruka definitely saw something we didn't. Your confidence is refreshing, but you must be careful that it doesn't become overconfidence. Hubris has been the downfall of many shinobi throughout history. Who what? Naruto asked dumbly. Hubris, Uzumaki-san. Hubris is excessive and dangerous amounts of pride. It is considered by some to be the fourth shinobi vice, Suzume-sensei explained. Wow, that is bad. Thanks for telling me that stuff, Suzume-sensei, Naruto said with a chuckle as he scratched the back of his head. The two teachers exchanged a glance and nodded at each other. Tomatsu-sensei cleared his throat and got Naruto's full attention. First, Naruto-san, we will need to see your proficiency with the Hench no Jutsu. Please demonstrate a transformation. Naruto nodded. Who do I need to transform into? Anyone you choose, Suzume-sensei answered. Naruto grinned as he decided who he was going to use as the basis for his transformation jutsu. He quickly went through the hand seals and was surrounded by a cloud of smoke. Welcome to Ichiraku. My name is Iam. May I take your order? Naruto as Iam asked perfectly as the chakra-laced smoke cleared. Naruto wore the same smile that Iam greeted every customer with. May I ask who this person is? Suzume-sensei questioned as she jotted down a few notes. Oh, I'm Iam. Like I said, I work at Ichiraku. It's the best ramen stand in all of Konoha. Naruto as Iam continued to play his role. Excellent execution of the Hench no Jutsu, Naruto-san. You may dispel your transformation now, Tomatsu-sensei said warmly. This was all for now. Thank you for watching, I hope you liked it and that you will be back for more. Please like, share and subscribe. See ya.